Hey gearheads, and welcome to GT Garage Talk, a discussion about all things automotive. I'm Cory.
And I'm Holly.
Hey, wait, what? What's going on here?
Yep, I'm here in studio today.
So not only do I have an in-studio guest, it's my wife. So I brought you on for a special occasion, special something, as we sit here and get ready. As we sit here to record, we are getting ready for an epic trip. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 14 days of travel and fun and craziness. We have rented a minivan. We will be driving from Texas to California and back.
In probably the worst time to be taking a road trip cross country.
Talking about spring break or the fact that gas prices are soaring to a record high?
Both.
Yeah, yeah. So, prefacing this just a little bit, I have been invited to a wedding of a friend of mine out in California that just so happened to be the day before our son's 4th birthday. So, as y'all are listening to this episode now, all that's already happened. The wedding's behind us. Tucker's turned 4. Holly,
Let's not talk about it.
We have a 4-year-old.
Let's not talk about it.
Just get used to it right now. As this episode is live and out in the world, you and I are parents of a 4-year-old. So let's sink that in. But the reason I have asked you to come on is, again, you and I have been doing family reviews on the YouTube channel for a while now. We are doing perhaps the most epic of family reviews in seeing how 3,500-ish miles fare on, in this case, a 2021 vehicle. How fuel prices, how fuel economy, how comfort, both immediate and long-term, just a lot of stuff going into the content we're going to create from this video. My question for you, are you excited?
Yes. Well, right now it's hard to be like, oh, I am excited. I'm really excited. But right now we're taking a break in between packing, which when you travel with a toddler, there's always like another layer of preparation that goes into it. Plus, we're going to be on the road for 14 days. But yes, I'm really excited about the whole trip, just hitting the road. We don't have really a whole lot of, our route really isn't planned. Like there's certain places we have to be on certain days. But for the most part, we're just flying by the seat of our pants.
And that's not really your thing. That's really more my thing, being all kind of, you've got to have a plan, right? So,
so as far as planning goes, like it's enough for me to know this is the route we're taking, like the roads we're taking.
Right. We
have to be here on this day. Mm-hmm. But I don't have to know, like, I'm stopping here on Tuesday, here on Wednesday, here. Okay. So it's enough. I like having the flexibility if we're on a road trip to stop wherever we want to stop.
Especially with aforementioned toddler.
Yes.
/ 4-year-old /
You've got to stay flexible. So in this instance, I like that we don't have a specific place we have to be every single day because we may not make it there. Right. We've never been on, I mean, we have driven, I guess the longest with Tucker is about 7-hour trip one way.
Which was 2 years ago, if not more. Can you believe it? Like,
I mean, yes and no. I mean, COVID kind of sucked away the time. And, you know, after COVID, we did a mommy daddy trip and that was well deserved.
Yes,
so.
very much so. Take some time for yourselves, parents.
So he has grown up a lot more. Mm-hmm. He also knows how to play the system a lot more.
Yes. With his advancing age, he has gotten rather crafty on manipulating mom and dad and grandparents. And
the tough part is he's been potty trained in the last year. So he's about a year into potty training. Okay. Right. But he knows if we stop at the gas station, we're probably going to get a treat. We walk around. So when a potty training toddler tells you they have to go potty, like it's either they got to go now or he wants a treat and walk around. And do you take the chance that he really has to go?
You and I have done several roadside pullover, put him out, pull the pants down.
Yeah, thank God we have a boy.
Yeah, that hasn't really been successful for us so much.
What do you mean?
He gets stage fright.
Yeah, but he does. He goes every once in a while.
So
I would say it's been as successful as not successful. I'd say it's about 50-50.
Yeah. Okay. But what I really want to focus on, so that this isn't just a mommy daddy podcast, is the road trip element, the road trip aspect of the vehicle we're in, which I've been driving around a little this afternoon. You've seen it.
I've seen it.
You've gotten to play around, kind of find surface level things you dislike about it. So I'm not going to grill you on anything of that. We'll save that for the videos that are forthcoming on YouTube. If you are not subscribed yet, youtube.com/GTGarageTalk is the place to find it, or head to gtgaragetalk.com. Links to everything there. You and I are coming out of this trip with multiple different things. At least that's the ambition. So we're driving round trip around 3,500 miles. Mm-hmm. We want to talk about, again, or at least a family review of the vehicle, what you like about it, what I like about it, what works for a family, what doesn't work. Mm-hmm. We haven't even mentioned your mom, my mother-in-law, is riding with us as well. So 4 people in a vehicle.
3 adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3,500 miles, luggage for 14 days, which in a minivan is not a problem. I've already pulled the rear seats down, and it's a cave back there. Yeah. We could pack for a month and still have room to spare. Space is not an issue in that minivan.
Which it's a good thing, because I've packed for at least a year of food for us.
Yes, which we will probably devour all of
on the first day.
So that's really the first question for me, because I grew up in a 1992 Plymouth Grand Voyager, the predecessor to the vehicle that we are in. I don't think I've mentioned yet. It's a 2021 Chrysler Pacifica, and it is the Touring L trim, which is just a step above base. Priced it out. Sticker on it was $40,040.
Yeah.
So
not bad.
In today's market, not bad.
Right.
To me, I'm like 40,000.
Yeah, I know you kind of gave me the...
It's got leather seats. It's got the power doors, power lift gate, stow and go seating, Apple CarPlay, adaptive cruise, lane keep. Yeah, all the stuff.
You didn't mention your favorite thing, the little shades,
the peasant
on the
blocker.
window.
So it's got manual sunshades on.
It's called a peasant blocker.
That's what I call them. You block out the peasants when you pull those up, because you are too good. Because those aren't in every vehicle. They should be in every family vehicle. They are not. But for the mid-row, large manual sunshades, and even manual sunshades back in the third row. Roll down rear windows in the sliding glass doors, which my brother and I would have killed for in 1992, but did not have. Captain's chairs all the way around, bench in the back. Again, it's already stowed in the flow. And we will not be using that until we meet your dad at Disneyland, but that's for another story. What are your thoughts on minivan life?
Well, I've never had the preconceived, it's a minivan, I can't drive it. But you know me, I'm not too picky anyway.
So I could get you a minivan and keep something cool for me, right?
No. Well, yeah, that's not how this works.
Well, that's what I'm hearing. So
No. So, I mean, I was really excited to have the space, especially with 3 adults riding in the vehicle and riding for such a long way. We need the leg space, the room for the luggage, so that we don't feel crammed in there. So, for me, it's no problem. I think the space and the automatic doors that open, that's amazing. The fact that I've always liked that minivans have the sliding doors, not doors that open
right out. So kids don't ding
Yes.
other vehicles.
Yeah. Well, it's much easier if you're trying to get a kid into a car seat because, if someone parks a little bit too close to you, they can still be on the other side of the line, but you have to swing the door way out to get your kid in a car seat. So no problems. And not only that, he can step in himself, has plenty of room to walk around and climb up in the chair himself. So that's even more amazing.
Right. So speaking of space and how we have it just to spare, it's almost embarrassing how much space is in this. For comparison's sake, you and I test drove, family reviewed a 2021 Chevrolet Tahoe.
Yes.
Full-size, truck-based SUV, like big. That was the theme of our video.
It was
huge. It was big. Which would you reckon has more interior cargo volume? The big truck-based Tahoe or the car-based Chrysler Pacifica?
Well, did the Tahoe have 3 rows?
It did.
Did it lay down?
It laid down, so it was flat, mostly flat in the back. But again, remember how high that load floor was in the back of that Tahoe as well.
Yeah, that would have been hard.
Whereas
since you're asking me, I'm going to say the minivan.
Ding, ding, ding. You are correct.
But just because you're asking me.
Yeah. So Chevy Tahoe, like the king of full-size SUVs, its kingsmanship is being rivaled as of late, but is the sales leader for full-size SUVs. We see them everywhere down here.
Yeah.
They are a status symbol. They are the family vehicle of Texas. If you're not in a pickup truck, you're in a Tahoe. So base model Chevy Tahoe starts at $50,000. The fuel economy, 21-28 if you get the diesel, which most people don't. So less than that.
Okay.
Max cargo capacity, 122.9 cubic feet.
Okay.
Which is a lot. It's massive.
Yeah, it's huge.
Our Chrysler,
it's a boat.
Right. Our Chrysler Pacifica, like I said, as spec'd, $40,040. 1928 fuel economy, which is around the same, but again, cargo capacity 140.5 cubic feet.
Wow.
So 10 cubic feet more than a full-size SUV. And I believe, to your point, with the sliding doors, with the low floor and all that, it's so much easier to use, get in and get out. Tucker was climbing in and out of his seat from the ground.
Yeah.
He's a little... He's in the 40 percentile. He's no basketball player. So he was having fun. He knows how to open and close the sliding doors, which he's still working on traditional doors, being able to reach his little arms up and pull out in that stretched position. So he's loving it. He can operate the doors. He can climb in by himself, get in his seat by himself. Plenty of space. He was playing in the back of...
Yeah, he can stand up in the back.
Right. He was playing all in the back of this one while I was getting it cleaned up and ready to go because, I put some leather cleaner on it and spiffied up the dash a little bit. We're going to be living in this thing practically for the next 2 weeks. I wanted it to be nice, but that's just ridiculous. So 10 grand more, 10 cubic feet less of space, and similar fuel economy numbers.
If you get the diesel.
Right, which that $50,000 starting price of the Tahoe does not include
not have
that.
the diesel. So. Yeah. Well, that's what I was we were saying earlier when you were telling me how much the minivan started at, and I said, well, that's not that much, and that's what I was comparing it to.
Right.
I wasn't comparing it to, like a K5 or something like that. I like the K5.
Yes.
But that's what I was comparing it to, is if you were going to get something that has similar loading capacity for an SUV, I mean, you're not going to get it for less than 50,000.
Right.
That I can think of. That's that in with even more space. I mean, I know people have a thing against minivans, but if you're going for something that has space with kids, I'd rather have something like that. That's a lot easier to get, like you said. Plus, I'm a shorty too, so the Tahoe, it was big. It was big. It was just a big, massive thing. I don't see me driving a Tahoe
Day in
anytime.
and day out.
Day in and day out.
So, again, as we sit and record this, you have not gotten driving impressions. You haven't even ridden in the van, but I have. I've driven it around. We will save all of those impressions for our YouTube review of it. You said you never had that preconceived notion. I did. I grew up, like I said, a 92 Plymouth Grand Voyager, which meant it was the long one, which all minivans are the longer wheelbase now. We had captain's chairs all the way around, so it was similarly-ish spec'd for the time. And let me tell you, granted, we are decades into design and build quality and all that, so much nicer. Minivans have come such a long way. You can spec the Pacifica with rear seat screens, entertainment systems, which will come with what Chrysler calls fam cam. It's a think of a toddler, what's it called? Monitor screen. Infrared, works at night or in the daylight, but roof mounted camera that you can zoom in on all 5 of those seats back behind you and have that on your 10-inch Uconnect screen up front. Ours doesn't have that, but does have a handy little convex mirror up top, which Tucker pointed out Grammy and Dew's Honda Pilot has as well. Any good family vehicle worth its salt has some sort of rear view system in it. But I've played around in this one. Yes, it absolutely has a stigma. Minivans have a stigma to the point where, like, Kia is not calling their minivan a minivan. They're calling it an MPV, multi-purpose or person vehicle, however you want to call it. It's the unminivan. I very much look forward to when and if you and I get to do a family review on one of those, because the top trim of those has airline quality first class seats in the middle where full lounge with leg support. Like,
why aren't we taking that one to California?
I tried, babe. I really did.
Honey.
Besides, you and I are going to be up front. Tucker's in a car seat, so he doesn't care. It's really just Nana that has anything to worry about on this one, so shh, don't tell her. But you and I will come back from this trip, and we've got the top trim of Toyota's Sienna minivan, so it'll be really cool to get to live in this one for 2 weeks, come back and sample another one. I'm a little sad that we're not taking the Sienna minivan, because all Toyota Siennas now are hybrids. They get 36 mpg. Just
that would be nice.
City, highway, doesn't matter. They get 36 mpg. Ours tops out at 28. I've seen that about driving it around town today. So I think we will get decent, but not 36 mpg.
Right. Which was almost what my Mini Cooper was.
Right.
Yeah.
So just think, this massive van with, again, you get store all the stuff, fold all, it's just insane how much cargo capacity we're traveling down the road with at 28 mpg.
What's the air conditioner vent situation?
Ceiling mounted vents. They are smaller than, say, the Tahoe that we sampled, but Tucker's got controls back above him, which that's the one downside to putting the child seat in the passenger side. maybe I should put him back behind me so Nana can control the vents, but we also have controls from the Uconnect screen up front. But yeah, he's got ceiling mounted vents. He said he was perfectly fine driving around in it today and could feel it. Again, the windows do roll down. They don't roll down all the way, but he had me roll down the windows for him today. He was having fun. Cloud9, he was being chauffeured around in what was to him a very cool car.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it is a very cool car. I growing up, we never had a minivan. We never had a van. We never had really a big car. But friends of mine did have minivans, and we just thought they were the coolest thing because you could sit all the way in the back. One friend, and this was so long ago, I can just barely remember, had a huge van that looked like our neighbor's van. What kind of van is that?
That's a full-size van. It's a Ford Econoline or whatever.
I don't know, but the very back seats.
Folded flat.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And so there was like all this space. And, back then you didn't have seatbelt laws. So it was just, I don't know if they did, but they weren't that strict about it back then. It wasn't
weren't like they are now.
No, like where you stay in a car seat till you're 10 or something.
Right.
No, it was not like that. So we would just like hang out in the back, bouncing all around, playing with our Barbies. And we just thought that was the coolest car ever.
Road trips were a different time back then. Yeah, Tucker is going to be strapped down in his 5-point harness. But like I said, he's been enjoying it. We're bringing all kinds of games for him, DVD players, his Amazon Fire tablet.
His homeschooling books.
Yeah, the kid will not be wanting for stuff to do.
And our favorite road trip kid trick.
Encanto?
No.
We don't talk about Bruno.
No, we don't. I'm sure we'll be talking a lot about Bruno on this trip.
Right. No,
our
Mom hack.
Our
is all on
favorite
here.
parent hack here for road trips is to just grab some bags around the house. We use like cosmetic bags. No, not shopping bags, because those can be dangerous depending on how small your kid is. Ours is old enough for a shopping bag, but no. I'd use like some cosmetic bags, some travel bags, like those kinds of things. One of the bags I used was a Christmas bag that has the tie at the top that I got a Christmas gift in. And I just went around the house and picked up random crap and put in these bags.
Random toys, Mommy. They're toys.
Oh, they're toys?
Yes.
Okay, random toys that, he left here or there, hasn't seen in months, so it'll be like a new toy to him. I also went and got some of those fidget toys that they have, spinners and the poppets and stuff like that. Threw a couple of those in there. So when it gets desperate and we start to hear the B word, bored, I'm going to pull this bag out and it's going to be like a present. He gets to open. Depending, there's zipper openings, there's pull ties, some of these things. I got the fidget things and wrapped them up in paper and taped it. So he's got to open it before he can play with it.
Kind of like a present.
You would not believe we've done this since he was born, pretty much.
Yeah.
We've gotten like a new toy or something like this. And when it gets desperate, you pull it out. You don't give it to him at the first of the road trip and you don't let him know you have it. But when it gets desperate, you pull it out. And I remember one time we got him one of those little stuffed animals that has like a crinkly hand and a stretchy neck and stuff like that. And he was about to have the biggest fit ever. We pulled it out. He played with it till he fell asleep.
Yep. I think that was that 7-hour road trip to Corpus Christi.
It might have been.
Yeah,
it's amazing, but yeah.
I credit you with that one because my brain wouldn't have come up with it. So yeah, just nifty road trip hacks that we have found in our now 4 years of parenting. Yeah. Hide the toys, bring old toys, make it an adventure unto itself. I grabbed like bracelets that I haven't worn in years,
throwing it in there, whatever. Random crap around the house. Bag it up.
We do have the added benefit of he will not be back there by himself. So my mother-in-law, your mom, his Nana, will be back there riding with him. I don't think she's prepared to not talk about Bruno. But yeah, so an extra person helps as well. When we get to California, our intended destination, we're also meeting up with your dad. He perhaps chose a smarter route. He's flying and meeting us there. So
we'll find out if that's the smarter route.
We shall see. Time will tell. But we're getting to see the beautiful nation in between here and California.
Many places we haven't seen.
Right. So you and I love travel. We have a map in your office that we can scratch off states. So we will be scratching off New Mexico, Arizona, California on this trip alone. Very excited about that. We still haven't scratched off Illinois for going to Chicago. But just a fun time getting to show Tucker more of the world we live in. Another great thing about the minivan is his seating position. He can see out. He was very excited to be able to see out. We did have the sunshades up, and he was commenting on everything had holes in it. So talking about those sunshades on the windows. So we may have to pull those down if the sun is in a good spot so he can see the world around him as it passes by.
So are you going to feel some type of way driving the minivan across?
Absolutely
not. You're going to be a soccer dad.
Absolutely not. So I have been in ministry for a while, been a youth pastor. I've rented many a 15-passenger van, many a minivan. Not at all.
So you're already uncool.
Yes, just chalk it up. I've been living with it for years. I've been told by teenagers for many years that I'm uncool. I embrace it at this point. I have long held that minivans are the perfect family vehicle, perfect road trip vehicle, and we are about to get to experience that. So again, going back to our minivans growing up, we did the Disney road trip going the other way. So we live in Texas. Mm-hmm. We went east to Walt Disney World Resort back in the mid-90s, 1995. And we did that road trip. Minivans of the time held up quite well. They've gotten even better now. You and I and Tucker and your mom are going the other way. We're heading west, going to Disneyland, and very much looking forward to this trip. Yes, I've written off the cool factor because I'm finding there are cool things. I really like the blue gauges in the Pacifica.
Okay.
Like they're blue and silver.
Have not gotten to experience
Blue's my
this
favorite
yet.
color, so I really like it. There's blue stitching everywhere in this one, and it's not the hybrid model. I checked. The blue-green paint job on this one
it's very nice.
A really nice blue color. Yeah. I had the original color pulled up, but I've already forgotten it. But very nice. It is not the top trim. I have driven the top trim, which is called the Pinnacle. Comes with quilted leather, and the captain's chairs in the middle come with a removable leather pillow, which I'm guessing is, for putting in your low back when, you need to make this cross-country road trip. So I've sampled the best. This is really good.
How's the lumbar support?
There is adjustable lumbar in this one. No massaging seats, but there is adjustable lumbar, so I'm excited for that. We do have heated, not ventilated seats up front, which we just had another storm blow through tonight. It is currently, let's see, what is the temperature outside? 52 and raining. And I've checked some of the weather along our route. We're looking at 38s and 45s in the morning. So those heated seats are going to come in handy. I'm rather excited for just all the possibilities of this road trip, and Grand Canyon's on the road trip.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, and then
the
Route 66.
Yes. The ultimate goal of our trip is to get our son to Disneyland for his 4th birthday. and the wedding.
And the wedding too. The
but-
reason we're going.
Yes, but taking Tucker, who is a massive Disney Pixar Cars fan. We have 5 million die-cast cars
Oh my gosh.
in our house. Disney California Adventure has an entire land that looks like you are in Radiator Springs. He is going to be beside himself.
Yes.
He and I have watched videos on YouTube of the full-size car characters that drive through and do meet and greets in the town at the Cozy Cone Motel. He is
I
beyond
think
stoked.
he's more excited about that than Mickey Mouse. It's at least equal excitement.
Yes, and the next day we're going to Magic Kingdom, Disneyland proper, and he's excited about Mickey and Minnie and Donald and Daisy and Pluto.
The
and
Sensational
Goofy.
Six.
Yes, and yes, we did the thing. We all have matching Mickey and Minnie shirts, and we're doing it upright. But yeah, Tucker is just so excited about all of that because he's very much into cars, very much into Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Like, so much. And then, like I said, getting to come back down Route 66 and show him some of the things that inspired
Radiator Springs. Yeah.
And I'm excited for it all. And I'm even excited. I'm going to be, especially me, but we are going to be working on this trip, again, filming videos for the YouTube channel. So we're going to do a family review. We're going to be monitoring gas prices because they are, as we record this, at an all-time high. And
we will mark it on Gas Buddy.
Yes.
To help out our fellow
And we will be posting TikToks,
drivers,
and, Reels, and all that good stuff. So be sure and follow us on social. But Texas notoriously has the lowest gas prices in the nation, and California has the highest. I actually watched a CNBC video last night that went live in October of 21, so before current situations, talking about why California's gas is higher and refinery counts and how they get it there and how much more stringent California is with their refining. So very interesting all the way around, but we will be documenting fuel prices along the way. Like I said, doing a family review, doing a Route 66 highlight reel, all kinds of fun stuff that I'm very excited about.
You get to judge if we're crazy people or not.
Yes. Which that leads me into my question to you. What are you most looking forward to on this trip?
Oh, that is really hard to say.
Okay.
Because it's hard to narrow it down because we're starting off the trip seeing one of my BFFs
Right.
that I don't get to see very often because she lives in frickin' Midland. Who lives in Midland? It's way out there.
Yes.
But since we are in the area, we are stopping there. So that's going to be fun. So that's my first exciting thing. But I cannot wait to see Tucker meet Lightning McQueen.
Oh, they better have him out.
We're going to be there all day, so
Yes.
surely he'll be out at some. We're going to sit there until he comes out. So I cannot wait to see him. I mean, I am pretty sure that is the reason both of my parents are coming is because they did not want to miss seeing him see Radiator Springs and Lightning McQueen and Mater.
Well, your mom says she wants to live in Radiator Springs.
I know, so we may just leave her there. Depends on how the trip there goes.
Yep.
And then Route 66 has always been on my bucket list. I have not seen the Green Canyon. You haven't. Mom hasn't. So that, I mean, I know there's a lot more along Route 66, but that's going to be a major bucket list item that I've been trying to make it out to forever. But I love to road trip. You love to road trip. I like just kind of, I mean, we're going to have a long time to plan our trip home.
Right.
I've already pinned some things on, stops along the way that inspired the Cars
Actual
movies.
Cars movies.
And Cars 3 is one of my favorite movies. Like
Yeah.
we love it. Thank goodness that the Cars franchise has a lot of content because you know he could like something that only has one movie and we're watching the one movie over and over and over. But thank goodness there's Cars 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, 3 movies.
Plus Mater has some shorts, a lot of shorts that are fun.
And they're even teasing an upcoming project on, I do believe it's on Disney Plus, but we will see exactly what that turns into. But yes, new Cars content coming. Yeah, I'm excited for all that as well. We live in Texas. Pretty much anywhere we go is a road trip.
Yeah.
We measure distances in hours in the vehicle, not miles driven. You and I recently went down to Houston, like a 4-hour trip. Mm-hmm. It's a road trip unto itself. But your dad is flying. So we're also looking into, the pros and cons in this current day and age, this situation. Mm-hmm. Does it make sense to forego all those things that you're looking forward to? Seeing the country, seeing the Grand Canyon, traveling Route 66, showing our son more of this country that we live in. Is the price differential worth flying? We could save a whole lot more time. Like, we've planned in 4 days of travel just to get there. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons of both. And, at the time, and we'll do it again, but at the time that we were deciding on flying or driving, well, even now, I mean, we just a couple of weeks ago checked it again. It was almost the same for us to fly, the 3 of us, and rent a car in California because we would still have to rent a car.
Right.
And the gas was almost the same as renting a car, driving it. The only thing we would be saving money on is the hotels along the way. So is it worth it or is it not? For you have your own business, so taking that much time off isn't that big of a deal. We're working along the way, so you're not really taking the time off, but
my office is wherever my computer is.
But you can come back on Monday morning and sleep the day away if you want to.
Probably won't be, but you are correct.
But you can if you wanted to. For me, I'm using almost all of my vacation days within the first 3 months of the year. So that's a con, but we didn't get to choose the time of year that this happened, and I wasn't turning up an epic road trip.
Right.
In a minivan. We'll be rocking some Encanto in that minivan.
Yes, so much Encanto.
If you see us coming by, just mind your own business.
Yes.
We'll be singing our hearts out.
Poor Nana.
Practicing
I don't think she knows what she's in for.
Practicing for our theatrical debut.
Yes. We shall see. We shall see how much practice we truly get in on this. Because, if it were just you and I, we obviously wouldn't need a minivan. The playlist would be dramatically different because you and I have really gotten into podcasts.
Sure.
Go figure.
Yeah.
But, with a 4-year-old in tow, there's going to be a lot of music, whether it's his silly song playlist or the Encanto soundtrack or the
I'm
Cars
just happy
soundtrack.
that he is turned back onto Encanto so we don't have to listen to Mickey Mouse Clubhouse 5,000 times.
Yes, why did we introduce him to that soundtrack? That one's on me.
They're all on you.
No,
what does the fox say? That's on you.
Yeah, I'll own that one as well. So it's just, I want to turn it to you, our listeners. What are your road trip practices? What are your road trip playlists? What are your road trip go-tos, must-haves? Is there an ideal vehicle for you? I have not done a road trip in a convertible, but I do know that if I were, I've already got it picked out which one it would be. I brought it by here. I haven't gotten to fully review it yet because I had to go back to the dealership before I got the cameras on board. But the red Chevy SSR that we had, you remember it.
That's what you want.
Yes, because hardtop, convertible,
Lots of space.
heated seats, and the trunk was huge
Yeah.
because it was a truck bed,
Yeah.
sort of. I mean, it literally was built on a truck frame. It shared the chassis with a Chevy Trailblazer of the time. So it was a truck. It had that long truck bed / trunk on it. You don't compromise anything for space because most 2-seat convertibles, you're riding to your destination with the top up so you could get your luggage there and then dropping the top on the way, which 70 plus mile an hour cruising gets old with the top down after a while.
Yeah.
But I want the option. Give me the option.
I don't know that I want to be taking a road trip in a convertible.
Really? That's why I say hard
Call
top.
me
It's a hard top, so you put the
a
top
party
up.
pooper.
Yeah. You poop on the party?
I poop on the party
Oh my
of
goodness.
convertibles. I'm not a huge fan of convertibles.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're cool looking,
Yeah.
but functionality wise, I mean,
You just want the Bronco, which is also a convertible.
yeah, but that's different. That is different. I still wouldn't drive around with it just like
Off.
on a regular. I mean, like if you're at the beach or.
Another great thing about the Bronco.
But you wouldn't let me drive it without the hood off on the beach. You don't want the sand on the inside of the car.
Well, in a Bronco without the carpeted floor mats, if you had the washout floor mats, yeah, sure.
You allow
Just
it? Okay,
hose
then
it
buy
up.
me a Bronco. Done deal.
Let's go down to the Ford dealership when we get back. So there you go. You heard it here.
Yeah, I get the Bronco. You get the minivan, baby.
No. Nope.
You said you're not cool and you have no problem driving one.
I drive a Chevy Cruze, so no, I ain't cool. Chevy Cruze Eco, but did make
It's
sure
cool. I
did
like
make
it.
sure to get the manual transmission on that one.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
One cool
step.
point. One cool point. But it's cool because it works for our family. I went from a Camaro with no back seat and no rear doors to this. I was thinking ahead. I was planning for meeting you. That's what it was.
Oh. Okay.
It wasn't financially driven at all. No.
Yeah, I saw you drive up in that Chevy Cruze, and I was like, oh, a baby would go great in the back seat of that car.
I knew what I was doing. So yeah, snacks. You alluded to the fact that we have all the snacks packed with us. We're not
All of them.
We're not hurting for space. We did go to the local warehouse club and load up on bulk on. Let's see, we've got protein bars. We've got goldfish. Gotta have goldfish.
Got
What
fruit cups.
fruit cups,
Yogurts.
Belvita, yogurt. We don't have. You and I both unanimously agree on this. The go-to road trip snack that we only get on road trips because gotta be special, kind of like the toys that we bring for Tucker. Combos.
Yep.
Are we stopping somewhere and getting combos? I think it would be a travesty if we didn't.
So,
but we have so much stuff.
So
already.
The thing is, and this is probably why I overdo it with the snacks, we are also trying to eat healthy while we travel, which you can't really do it. I mean, you can do at fast food places, but what's the fun of that? So it's harder.
It costs twice as much.
Yeah, it's harder on the road to eat healthier. So when I pick out my snacks, I try to pick out healthier snacks.
Because if you don't have it, you won't eat it.
Exactly, which is why I haven't gotten the flat Ritz that we love. I haven't gotten the flat pretzels that we love. I haven't gotten the combos. I passed them up. I know that's the reason. To be honest, before this trip is over, we'll probably eat some combos.
Yeah.
But it won't be because you didn't have another option.
Absolutely not. Like, it's almost embarrassing how much food that we're bringing along on this trip. But
I call it my mother instincts. I don't know. I'm like a hoarding, nesting.
I'm very glad for it. So again, we haven't even talked about this in the build up to settling on the minivan. We've looked at Nissan Rogue, which, okay, you and I, our daily driver is a compact SUV. It's a Jeep Cherokee 2014, which does not have anywhere near the most space inside for the class. When they designed it, it was shared with a Dodge Dart car and had four-wheel drive intentions in mind in their interior packaging. All that to say, interior space compromised. Nissan Rogue, not so much. You and I recently reviewed a Buick Envision, same thing. Compact crossover segment, but when I opened the rear hatch, you were thoroughly impressed with how much room was back there. So we looked elsewhere in our same segment and thought, you know what? If we're going to spend the money on something, if we're going to rent, let's get a little more space. So,
Yeah.
and then I started looking at
So I could pack all my snacks.
right. Then I started looking at like the Ford Edges of the world, which are, in my mind, a full-size sedan equivalent to in the SUV world. And in your mind, again, not big enough.
Too small. Yeah.
Not a big enough increase in space and room for passengers.
Right.
That justifies the expense that we'd be going through.
Right. Especially because we can travel with our Jeep just fine, the three of us. But we also use the other part of the seat
Right.
for some storage for luggage and stuff like that, especially when we're going on a long road trip.
And packing all our snacks.
And packing all our snacks and all our toddler stuff.
Yes.
Although that's getting less.
Thank
That's getting
goodness.
easier.
Yes.
But we still got a lot of stuff. And I'm more of like, if we're driving, I'd rather overpack than underpack. So the Edge, while it is bigger, to me, it didn't feel like a big enough for adding a whole nother adult
Right.
to our road trip.
Right.
So that kind of took up, like where we would normally have the space in the back seat
Right.
for storage. We're not going to have that. Not only are we not going to have that,
Have the extra
adult
luggage.
needs to
Yes.
have the leg room back there when they're sent back there. So,
And then the luggage that comes with them.
and then the luggage that comes with them.
So
So.
we went from just no space whatsoever to
No space
an
whatsoever.
embarrassment of space
An embarrassment of space.
and packing all the food. We have our largest piece of luggage, full size roller bag. We have our middle size just for the two of us, because we have our destination luggage and our
Overnight luggage.
travel luggage. So we're not hauling in everything every time we stop. Tucker also has 2 bags unto himself. We have his.
Well, I consolidated his to one.
Okay, good.
So there's.
We have air mattress. We
I'm
have
saving space.
all the snacks, his birthday presents.
Yeah.
All his toys.
Toys.
And hidden gifts and special surprises. So, mini
Movies. Mini fridge. Yes.
that I'm very excited about. So there is a 12-volt outlet in the back of the van. So I'm going to put that mini fridge right at the back, so you can go back there, pop the hatch open, and get into it really easily. The only reason I'm not putting it between Tucker and your mom is because then we're just going to be tempted to be in it all the time and, getting all kinds of stuff out of there.
Well, it ain't that big.
Right. But
We're going to be having a little bit of snacky stuff here and there
Yeah.
and some cold waters.
yes. So, yeah, I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited about all the stops we're going to make, the memories we're going to make with our kiddo.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
this is epic. Like, it's not every day you get to travel across America,
Right. Halfway across the country.
halfway across the country.
Get to see your child's 4-year-old movie heroes
Yes.
in the flesh. So,
Oh, I'm so excited.
yeah, very, very, very excited for that. So, again, sounding off to you, our listeners, what is your American road trip? Because I know I ask all of my interview guests in our Patreon aftermarket segment behind the paywall. If you do support us, you get a little extra content every time I interview somebody. But I always ask people, epic road trip, where would they go? What would they be driving and stuff? But I'm very excited about driving across country with my wife, with my son, with all the snacks, even with my mother-in-law. I'm very excited. It's going to be a very interesting trip that I cannot wait to get into. And like I said, as you are hearing this, if you're listening to this live, we are already on it. We're almost back. So today is the 25th.
Mm-hmm.
We are scheduled to be back on the 27th. So we're almost back in Texas at this point.
Follow us on.
Are you exhausted? I'm exhausted.
I'm already exhausted. I'm going to need a vacation for my vacation.
Yes.
But follow us on social media. You can follow our
Facebook,
travels.
Instagram, TikTok. Yeah, we'll be posting stuff all along the way. Again, posting gas prices every time we fill up. I've already got the trip computer set. So very, very thorough road trip review of this 2021 Chrysler Pacifica. I'm excited to get you behind the wheel of it.
I'm excited to drive it.
Yeah. And
we'll see.
2-person memory. I'm very excited about that.
I'm excited about that too.
And tied to that, there are driver profiles. Tucker picked out your avatar.
Oh.
You're a doggy. You're a cartoon doggy.
You didn't let it be a surprise.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, okay.
Well, there.
I'm a doggy. Okay.
You're a doggy. I'm a race car driver. I picked mine out. I think
that seems unfair.
I think I changed mine to the cartoon line. I can't remember, but yes, he actually, for you, he picked out the panda, he picked out the elephant, he picked out the lion, the tiger, but he finally settled on the doggy.
On the doggy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
he loves dogs, so I'll take it.
Yeah, and he very much loves you. So there you have it, Gearheads. Very much looking forward to this road trip. May even have a follow-up episode after we've had some time to decompress from this episode. But I cannot wait just to live Disney Pixar cars for as long as Tucker will. I don't know who's going to break first, us or him. In Cars
to want to
Land,
go
to want to leave the park for the
well, I'm not leaving. If he's not leaving, I'm not leaving. So
you're not going to give in and be like, all right,
nope,
it's time, I'm done.
Nope,
yep.
It's for him.
Yep.
I've seen enough of Disney. I don't need to see anything except for what he wants to see.
Yep.
So if you need to break away.
On his 4th birthday.
His 4th birthday.
That is the most exciting thing for me. I went to, like I said, Disney World around my 9th birthday.
Yeah.
So it was in between my brother's birthday and my birthday that year. And
one of the
really
things
cool.
that we have talked about for a long time, because we've wanted to take him to Disney.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about, just the other one. But we've talked about making the trip. When should we make the trip? When's a good time? And one thing that we kept going back to is we didn't want to wait so late that he's not into cars or that Mickey Mouse anymore.
Not cool to hang out with when we get there.
Not cool to hang out with. So I think this will be a good age where he's old enough to know what's happening.
Yeah.
And still young enough that he's excited to see the characters.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but 4 really is like I've got memories of my 4th birthday. One of your favorite pictures of me as a child is from my 4th birthday. So I'm excited that Tucker, this really is going to be his first lifelong memorable birthday, and we're
making core memories.
Yes, investing heavily in that. So there you have it, Gearheads. Thank you so much for listening and coming along on this road trip with us. You can follow along our progress on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that at GT Garage Talk. Head on over to gtgaragetalk.com for links to everything, including our YouTube channel. But until next time, bye.